Hey everyone, welcome to 3 and Out. My name is Carson Gourdie, Jonathan Alday, and Ben Fader. Illinois drops a tough game, 19-10 to Mississippi State in the Reliaquest Bowl. They fall to 8-5, but progress has been made for the program. What are some takeaways that we have from today? One of them, Aaron Henry had a phenomenal debut as defensive coordinator.
Yeah, definitely. One of the questions heading into this game how much would this defense change, especially in regards to coaching? He takes away Kevin Kane with him. That's another position that needs to be attended to in preparation of this bowl game. So knowing that this defense, despite the staffing shortages, they're prepared for this game. They kept this offense, this Mississippi State offense to a minimum. I think that really speaks a testament to what Aaron Henry can do and what he will continue to do as Illinois' defensive coordinator.
This was not a game that Illinois was favored to win. They opened up for a little bit as 2-point favorites. It closed at Mississippi State 3.5, and I think people expected this air raid offense to pick up some more steam against an Illinois team with a lot of fresh faces.
I think some people might have discredited how big Aaron Henry's role was already in this program. Bielema said it himself that Aaron Henry was already adjusted. He moved right in. The players were very joyful that he was the new defensive coordinator, and the play calling went pretty smoothly. It went how they expected it to and how it's gone for a lot of the season. So I think he made some adjustments at halftime, Bielema said, and they rolled with that. And I think he got some good experience in his first game as defensive coordinator.
Yeah, and in this defensive room, you got Brett Bielema, former defense coordinator of Wisconsin. You got Andy Boo, a former play caller. You got guys like Aaron Henry, who he's kind of had his eye on for a little bit as the succession plan. But, take away the play calling. Matthew Bailey really stepped it up today, even when Illinois lost guys like Brown, like Witherspoon.
Oh, absolutely. I think we just finished up interviews with him, and he mentioned a lot about how the entire coaching staff has really helped him to develop into this player. And ever since week 0 at Wyoming, against Wyoming, we've seen his potential. We've seen his ability to make plays, to make hard hits, to read defenses. And I think it's only going to continue progressing as he gains more experience and maturity.
The defense continues to perform really well. Above all expectations. This year led the country in scoring defense. But one thing that people do have questions about is the direction of the offense. Barry Linney was the new hire from UTSA, taken over from Tony Peterson. But at the end of the season, they kind of struggled to put points on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. They struggled to put points on the board. Today, you're missing Brian Hightower, Luke Ford, and most importantly, Chase Brown. You run a run-first offense, and those are some of your guys that have shined this year at different times, or the whole season if you're Chase Brown, and you're just without them. So, but today aside, even other than against Northwestern, they really struggled. And I think if you're Barry Lundy, you got to ask yourself, what am I doing here, and how do I make this team better? Because you're going to have a lot of the same guys next year, add in Luke Altmaier, and take away Chase Brown. So, you decide how much that impacts his play call, but he needs to change something if they're going to want to put more points on the board.
Yeah, Brett Bielema said in the press conference, I want this offense to find an identity. I know we run the 10 Pro, but he wants more of a direction with this Illinois offense. How does Illinois find an identity? What do you think is some of their strengths that they can use next year?
I think just continuously developing the players that they have. This wide receiver room has a lot of potential. They have a lot of new players that are coming in that have a lot of potential, that have high ceilings. Just continually developing those and making it easier for a quarterback to look at multiple options and not only zone in on Isaiah Williams throughout points of a game. Or even without the absence of Chase Brown, you don't have a running game anymore. And while Reggie Love had a great game against Northwestern, he did not perform the same way, and it really came back to hurt Illinois.
And I'll give Reggie Love some slack. Even though Chase Brown was getting 100 yards a lot of games, did he really dominate against Michigan State? Did he really dominate against Purdue? He got his 100 yards, but it was on 30 carries. It was on 40 carries. Teams know if you stack the box against Illinois, they are going to struggle to throw it through the air. That's probably the number one concern going into next year is Luke Altmaier going to be the guy that helps this passing offense become elite?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you raised up a good point earlier today. Barry Lundy liked an offense where he had a mobile QB, and I think a mobile QB could open up more receivers. Luke Altmaier escapes out of the pocket, and the cornerbacks are wary of that, and they'll know. So you might be able to have receivers get more separation, improve the running game too, because they'll know, hey, this quarterback can run the ball as well. maybe he's not going to take it 50 yards to the house, but he's a threat to pick up a first down when you need it. So that'll take some eyes off everybody else around him.
Yeah. And, but coming into this year, a lot of people thought, hey, Illinois go 5-7, go 6-6, we'll build you a statue, Brett. In reality, they kind of shattered expectations. I mean, they started 7-1, and for a little bit, we were kind of convincing ourselves that, hey, maybe instead of going down to Tampa for the bowl game, maybe we'll be in Pasadena for a little bit. But, what's kind of the feel once this year's over? Is it a disappointment? Or is it a pleasant surprise season? What's the direction?
I don't think you can walk away from the season and be disappointed. I'm thrilled. I think that today we saw great things. Isaiah Williams going for 114 yards. You got to be ecstatic about that. Yeah. He's coming back next year for arguably a better quarterback, I think. And you got the defense, all these freshmen stepping up that are going to join some guys. We'll see what happens with Johnny Newton if he returns. We'll see what happens with some of the other guys. But I think you got a good group in the defense already, and they just held an air raid offense without their best receiver who transferred, but still a lot of guys there it's 13 points.
It's big.
Absolutely. I think anyone who came into this season and not expecting much from this team and is still disappointed, at a certain point you can't please everyone. And I think Brett Bielema has talked a lot about win season is not where he wants to be next year, but it's a good start. It's a good jumping point. And I think this team will just only continue to get better the more they develop players and the more they bring in top talent like Luke Altmaier.
Yeah. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up. Illinois drops one 19-10. Sorry for people that bet on Illinois. They were 3.5-point favorites. It looks like you were going to cover until the final, play of the game. But that's going to wrap it up from 3 and Out. Thanks for watching it this year. It's been a blast covering Illinois, improved this year. I'm Carson Gourdie, Jonathan Alday, Ben Fader. Thanks for watching.